Hello, and welcome to the Migraine Oasis podcast, where we'll help you achieve more pain-free days by tackling the root causes that keep you stuck in the pain cycle. Our goal is to help you heal from the inside out for sustainable results. We'll cover everything you need for a holistic and mind-body approach to healing. From understanding how pain works to uncovering areas of tension within the mind, body, and spirit that can trigger your pain, and sharing practical tips to break free and find relief. I'm your host, Karen Ash, a former chronic migraine sufferer, certified coach, patient advocate, and migraine mentor here to support your healing journey. If you're ready to change your relationship with migraine and get back to living, let's dive in. Hi, and welcome back. So today I thought I would tell you a little story. I have come up with this metaphor for healing that has helped me over the last couple weeks, and I want to see if it maybe can help somebody else. I feel like I know a lot about trying to reduce symptoms and heal. I experimented with everything from medication to supplements to restrictive diets, trigger avoidance, devices, heating pads, ice pack. It was just everything, lifestyle overhaul. And I still felt stuck. And nothing really brought lasting relief until I began to treat my chronic symptoms as a neuroplastic pain and a message from this mind body connection, a message that something was off. What I've come to understand is this: healing isn't just about what you do to the body to fix the body. Healing is about the state your brain, heart, and nervous system are living in. It's about the state, the feeling that your brain, your heart, and your nervous system, how they are feeling, how you are living. So let me share this metaphor, and I hope it changes your view of the healing journey and healing in general. I call it the healing house. Back in my 20s, I spent a lot of time in southern Spain in the Andalusia region. I was studying there, and then I did a lot of traveling around. And I fell in love with these traditional Spanish houses there. And each was built with this lush private courtyard in the center. And picture this: it's really nice weather, there's a soft breeze, there's plants and greenery all around, there's a lot of different colors from the exotic flowers, there's ornate Spanish tile work, a fountain usually in the middle, maybe a hammock hanging from two large trees, just waiting for you to climb into, just enough shade, and a calm, nourishing space that all the rooms of the house open into. In my story, this courtyard is the center and the heart of our healing house. And it represents a state of ease and safety, a place where your nervous system is regulated, your heart is open, your mind is clear. Here, your symptoms soften. You feel empowered, whole, compassionate for what you've been through and the journey that you've been on and are continuing on. In this place, emotions are felt, not feared. Pain and symptoms aren't met with panic, but with curiosity. And you understand that symptoms may arise and aren't threatened by that. They're just a nudge to tell you that there's something to attend to that needs your care, alignment, or truth to be told. And many people with chronic pain or symptoms don't even know that this place exists. Others hear about it and they might think, oh, that seems, not for me. That's too strange, or seems too far away. I can't possibly heal. I have an incurable disease. But we know that healing from neuroplastic symptoms is possible. This courtyard exists, and each of the rooms in the house offer something essential. This courtyard lives within you. It's where your authentic self, or maybe you call it your core self, your inner higher self, your divine within, whatever, however you want to call it or refer to it, that's where this inner truth lives. And all the doors within this house lead to it, lead to this central courtyard. So let's explore some of the rooms that are surrounding this courtyard. There's the education room. And this is where we learn how pain actually works, how it becomes chronic. We study the neuroscience of pain and neural pathways. We learn about epigenetics and we get excited because it means that we aren't necessarily just stuck in this prison of our genetics. and we learn the power of the brain. Sometimes understanding alone can unlock healing, what some people call as the book cure. Access to this courtyard happens really quickly for those people after they understand the science behind it and what is actually happening with their symptoms. But for others, it's just a foundation that brings them a sense of inner peace, that they know that they are able to heal, and that just leads them on through other doors. The second room is a brain perceived danger room. And this is where we uncover the unconscious fears and doubts and our overwhelm and stressors fueling our symptoms. Doubt about the diagnosis, doubt about our ability to heal, our perfectionism, people pleasing, unhealthy boundaries, all these things that add up to being pressure and keep the brain on high alert and under threat. And we come here and we work mostly top down. So cognitive mind-based approaches to shifting things into feeling a bit more safe. The third room is brain perceived safety, and this room is connected to the brain perceived danger room. They work hand in hand. As we reduce perceived danger, we automatically begin to cultivate safety, and vice versa. As we work on any of the tools to bring safety into our bodies, we are automatically reducing perceived danger. You may be looking at it as two separate things. You do work to have a felt sense of safety and work over here to dial down the fear and the danger that the brain feels. But honestly, it's working all hand in hand. As you're doing one, it's helping the other. So it's like a twofold, two-prong approach. You're getting two bangs for a buck. Is that a saying? You're getting two for one, buy one, get one free. In this safety room, we tend to focus on bottom up or body based approaches, somatic approaches. The tasks are different, but they both lead to the courtyard. There's three adjoining rooms attached to this safety room. These are the last three rooms I want to talk about. We've got nervous system room that brings in safety. Here we learn about and we address stress states like fight, flight, or freeze. We're regulating our nervous system back up to a regulated state and doing that by a variety of different tools, from breath work to grounding to movement to incorporating joy back into your life. They all lead us back to regulation and safety and harmony within. There's a second room attached to this safety room called emotions. In this room, we gently process emotions that have been long buried: grief, anger, shame, fear, all these different things. And we learn that emotions aren't dangerous, but they're just signals. And when we feel them, we just are freeing up energy and space within. None of them are bad, none of them are good. It's just an emotion. And we learn finally, after all of our lives, no one ever really telling us how to process emotions. This is where we're learning how to do that and finally coming to peace with some things that have been impacting our inner sense or creating tension within the body based on the emotions. Then we have a power room. And this is inspired by Dr. Dan Ratner's work. This is where we step into alignment with our true selves. We meet the inner critic with compassion. We start to understand what it's been protecting us from, and we begin to prioritize what we truly need. In this room, we're stepping back into our power with not only ourselves, but with others and our symptoms. And when I say power, I'm not saying we have power over people or over our symptoms. It's just this inner sense of more authentic speaking up for our needs, setting boundaries, knowing that we are worthy of being placed on a priority list equal to everyone else. This is what this means. And all these different rooms, the education room, the perceived danger room, the perceived safety room with its three little external nervous system, emotions, and power rooms, all of these doors are wide open. And although it might feel sometimes that there's too many rooms or there's too many doors or there's too many tools, some doors feel like they're locked or they have these complicated combinations that we're trying to figure out how to even get into the room, that's all just an illusion. I want to say that all these doors are wide open to us. Picture these large French doors. They open up wide, and each of these rooms, all with these wide open French doors, all leading out to this courtyard. So, a big area for us to walk in and out of easily. It's not that we're trying to squeeze into a door, all is open and accessible. From any of these rooms, you can sense the healing within that courtyard. The rooms all lead back to the courtyard. It doesn't matter which door you're going in and out of, all of it leads back to healing. So I want to get across it doesn't matter which one you're currently working in, it's all leading us to healing. Now, some of us tend to get stuck in one of these rooms, thinking that it holds all the answers. In my experience, one room that a lot of people get stuck in is the emotions room. They're convinced that if they just release every single old emotion and old trauma, that their pain will vanish. And while the intention is good, there's this pressure to get it right or to have to do it. And this is counterproductive, and it can fuel more danger than safety, actually. Emotions are only one piece of why the brain could feel and perceive danger. So if we're only focusing and addressing emotions, we may miss out on other areas, like, say, doubt that is keeping us stuck in symptoms, or areas that need to shift in this power that I was talking about, this power dynamic between ourselves, this self-compassion that's lacking, or us being in a job that we absolutely hate, or a relationship that's unhealthy for us. Certain things that need to shift potentially are not going to be helped by just journaling emotions away about it. There are actions that maybe need to be taken, but journaling alone may miss some of these aspects. Another one that people tend to get stuck in is the education room, and I am very much in this camp. Collecting all the facts, staying up in your head, trying hard to reframe thoughts or think your way out of it, and avoiding all the emotional and the body-based work. This was me in the healing journey, and it's me now trying to do the same thing with the work that I'm doing, trying to come up with a better way to explain it, trying to find the right way, or looking at all the podcasts, or a new book came out, or it's just like this fear of missing out, and you're just trying to get every single last piece of the puzzle. We can't think our way out of neuroplastic pain and symptoms, though. That is just a fact. The amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, doesn't respond to logic. It only understands felt safety. So, this is just a heads up that if you feel stuck in the education room, to look at some of the other rooms maybe. Some people gravitate towards nervous system regulation and stay in this room for a very long time, not exploring the other aspects and hoping it'll find relief. And it often does. But it's important also to understand that first, we need to understand how the nervous system works and how your body feels in each of these various states. Regulation isn't about just staying calm, it's about helping your body move through the stress states without getting stuck. And the key to knowing what your body truly needs in every moment is understanding how you feel and what you need and what regulation is needed. Early in my journey, I was deep in a freeze state of burnout, and I was doing all the nervous system regulation tools that I had read online or seen on Instagram or whatever to regulate my nervous system out of fight or flight. I didn't need that. I didn't need soothing. I was numb. I was detached. What I needed was grounding and to come back into my body. And I needed the movement of energy, essentially. So without understanding my state, I just assumed that I was doing something wrong when those other tools weren't working. In reality, I just needed something different. This is why curiosity matters. If a tool isn't landing, if a room feels like it's getting too heavy or all consuming, it might be time to simply explore the house a little bit more. That's all. And it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It just means simply there's a time to explore something else. The beauty of the healing journey is that there's so many different doors and they all reach this courtyard. The key is movement. Healing often happens when we just gently weave in and out of and explore these different modalities, these different rooms, if you will, with curiosity. And as we are moment to moment beings, our needs are in a constant flux. So honoring what we need in each season of life is key. Another, just on a personal note, there were times when I was in Florida and my father, for example, was ill. And my mother has dementia, and I was very worried about how I was going to manage if anything happened to him, who was going to come down. She couldn't be left alone. I couldn't be in the US for very long because I was still working in Switzerland. And there were all these different factors that I was very stressed about. I still needed to do a lot of the emotional work. I hadn't done that, and I had been recently made aware of this. That was not the time to be doing it, to dig up all kinds of childhood memories and try to get heavy into the emotional work. I was in survival mode of being very frightened that I was going to lose my father and not understanding what to do in my next moment. So I needed something very different. I needed a calming sense to my nervous system. And that's what I ultimately was doing in the end, of just trying to calm and focus on that. So we're moment to moment, everything's going to change, and we have to continue to adjust. If you're going into one of these rooms and you're staying there, potentially your season in life has changed. So it's something to just consider. There's no perfect map. There's no one size fits all route through this house. You don't need to visit each room in a very specific order. Some people enter that courtyard quickly. For others, it's a longer journey. What matters is you're just staying curious. And if something's not shifting, to ask yourself, am I stuck in one of these rooms? Is it time to explore? Am I focused on a topic or a tool that feels right for the moment that I'm in right now? Have I been consistent in my approach and given it enough time, whatever you're working on, whatever room you're in? What door might you want to try next? And what do you need right now in this very moment? This is very much, I'll repeat it again, a moment to moment path. And again, have to give credit to Dan Ratner to this one, because he always is talking about we're moment to moment creatures. And this concept helps me a lot. You don't need to go kicking down doors and racing to the courtyard. A gentle approach, trusting the pace is exactly what you need. And just in every moment, reassessing and seeing what you need at that moment. The key part that I want to get across in this story is that parts of you are already healed. And I want to make sure that you're acknowledging this, that you're realizing this. It's not as if one day you arrive to this courtyard, you're fully healed, your symptoms are gone, and you're just dwelling in this blissful oasis from here on out. It's just not the reality of life, nor, in my opinion, what the goal is. Life presents challenges. We're going to have to rise up to meet them. We get to maybe ride the waves of the high, and we have the tools now to help us through the lows when emotions and overwhelm sometimes overtake us. It's just part of life. There are going to be ups and downs. So the goal is simply to no longer get stuck in the lows, or not get stuck in this stress response of fight or flight or freeze, so that the nervous system can just flow as it's intended to. And the truth of the matter is, if you've been on this journey, you're more healed than you were yesterday, than you were a week ago, than you were a month ago, than whenever you started, however long ago that was. Bit by bit, the information and the tools used are transforming not only your path, but your inner world. And the journey is just a part of the process. So don't let this courtyard feel elusive or far away. This is within you, as I mentioned. This is your inner self. This courtyard, this peace, this ability to feel whole and healed, it's within you, and it's always available. In fact, you're already visiting it multiple times a day, I bet. You've healed parts of yourself every time you choose you. Each action you take to support your journey, it's not always easy, and you're showing up for yourself. You're doing it. You're continuing. Each time, that's healing. Each time you journal, each time you meditate or you breathe deeply, sometimes when you don't feel like it, but you still do, you show up for yourself. In those moments, you have healed something in you. You've stepped into this space each time you set a boundary, you speak up for your needs, you say no to something instead of saying yes when you really wanted to say no. You dip in and out of this place more often than you realize, and learning to recognize that and acknowledging it, having some compassion about it, only can help your process and can feel really empowering if you actually realize how much you have already healed. It reminds me of this, oh, when I get the new job, I'll be happy. When I get that car, I'll be happy. Always putting like this carrot out in front of us. And the healing journey sometimes feels like that. Oh, when I'm symptom free or when I'm medication free or when I'm this, when I'm that, then I'll feel healed. No, you are healed in various ways already, and you're continuing to be on a daily basis. So acknowledging that and really feeling into that and being proud of that and having a bit of compassion around that can really help to feel more empowered. The last part I want to say is just that all doors lead to this courtyard. Just a reminder. Use this healing house concept to just take the pressure off to find this elusive right path. You're on it. It's very overwhelming when there's just like 1,000 places to look and there's all these different things that you should, in air quotes, be doing. But when you think about it as just this house with a courtyard, there's different rooms, the education room, the perceived danger room, the perceived safety room with its 3 little external nervous system, emotions, and power rooms. You're going to go into each of the rooms as needed, and it's contained, it's less overwhelming, it's systematic based on what you need at any given moment, and it also offers you this courtyard that you can go into not just when you're absolutely healed, whatever that means. You've heard my last podcast that was saying healing is different to everyone, and it's just an ongoing journey from now. We get to spend time in this courtyard whenever we feel like it, whenever we need to rest, whenever we need to embrace the fact that it gets a little much sometimes, or that we are not sure what the next right step is. Lay on the hammock, take a siesta. We're following the Spanish theme. Feel the breeze, enjoy this rest, just be. Feel a little bit of peace, and then gently move on. When you're ready, just think about, what do I need in this moment now? And go explore that with curiosity. It doesn't particularly matter which door that you go into, which room. Remember, they're all leading back to this courtyard, to this healing. All of them are essential. All of them matter. All of them can help in different ways. It just depends on what you need in the moment. If you're just hearing about this for the first time and you have chronic pain and symptoms, welcome to the house. I would recommend starting in the education room. That's a good first place to start. And if you're already doing the work, you've already arrived to the healing house. As I mentioned before, healing has already begun. I hope I explained it well enough for you to visualize this house with these rooms. I hope it helps you in some way to feel, a little bit less overwhelmed by this whole healing journey, and to know that you have all of this within and you're on the right track. You're doing the best you can. And when you need a rest, just go to the courtyard and just allow yourself to be. I really am curious what you think about this concept and if it's helped you in any way. So reach out and let me know. And in the meantime, I am wishing you more pain-free, symptom-free days ahead. And I am grateful that you are listening, and I will hope to see you soon. Take good care. Thanks for tuning in to the Migraine Oasis. I hope today's episode has inspired you to explore new approaches and provide some actionable steps you can use. Check out the show notes for any of the links of resources mentioned. If you found this valuable, please follow and subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others. This greatly helps our algorithm to ensure that this information gets out to more people who can benefit. If you're not already a part of the Migraine Oasis online community, check us out and stay tuned for more support, relief, and healing throughout the week. Until next time, stay hopeful and believe that more pain-free days are in your future. We're honored to support your healing journey. Take care of yourself and be well.